Yeah,
What it is, Jones Cologne?
check it out. What it is, Job Turkey. How you doing, brother? My man. Killing it on the drum intro, as always. As always, brother. As always.
I must start by saying, welcome back. There's so much to report, and I cannot wait to hear what's been up. And I mean, of course, I kind of know, of course, but I don't know the full, intimate, intricate details of it all. So that's why I want to give you this idea, this platform in which
Hey,
to
man.
to share your evolution since the last time you were on. What episode was that?
So last time I was on was episode 150, I believe, and I believe that there's a lost episode in there somewhere with Mr. Entertainment and I. But it's been a long time coming, Mr.
Well, no, I mean
Castle,
you did.
and
You were you. I did. There was an episode posted with Ange, and it's up
okay.
there. It's
Oh,
just
all right. Yeah.
it,
I don't know which one that is, but 150 was the last solo one I
yeah,
did for sure. Yeah.
yeah, dude. That was. I think we did that. I think we did that just like in the chairs in my room. Like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
was it was that those struggle days.
It shows you the dedication though. You know what I mean? It shows you the dedication we have. And like I said, I mean it all started here on the Evolving with Corey Castle, my whole audio streaming journey. And it's when you introduced the audio time travel thing, and I was so intrigued by that audio time travel because I was intrigued by me being frozen in time on TV, and then
Mhm.
like you said, hey dude, this is another chance for you to be frozen in time audioly, and you get to see your growth, and I was just all on board for the evolving train, and I was all about it, and I'm happy to say I have 4 episodes now on Evolving with Corey Castle, and that's what the show is all about. Evolving. It was
Yeah, I
at
love
a
it.
crazy point in
I
my
love
life.
a intermittent check in, like a recheck in,
Yes, a
just to
recheck.
go, Yo, where you evolved since last time?
Hey, and it's the way to do it. I mean, it's the way to do it these days. And like I said, the future of audio streaming is here, and why not? I felt like it was a time in my life that needed to be documented again. So I had
Dude,
a point in my life where I was documented on TV and portrayed a certain way, and went through all that hoopla. And then that point in my life where I came to the realization, and this is when we crossed paths again, and it's had an incredible effect on me, um, not only to be able to look back and see how far I've come and I've grown since those times, but the fact that I can possibly, and we've already talked about this, tell my kids and show my kids this one day, and who would have thought when we were talking then that we would actually be talking to them in the future, and we are, and I am now, and I've already started making like little videos where I'm talking to them that I'm going to show them when they're older and stuff like that, like, hey, I'm your dad, I'm sorry, I'm a little fucking crazy or whatever it is, like just
there's
little
there's
goofy videos like
there's
that, like, you know
there's
what I
no
mean?
need to apologize until there's something to apologize for. Don't
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
preemptively
Don't apologize
apologize.
for the future shit. I mean, I don't know
No,
what I'm doing, but yeah, I mean, I kind
don't,
of, I don't
don't
know.
preemptively apologize because then it's going to create a habit in them that they got to think that they're sorry for existing. Like,
See,
uh,
this is why I have these lessons with you, Corey. I don't
yeah,
know this. I
like,
need
so
to
like
I need to be
I was raised by a man who apologized to me right away. So I apologize to everybody all the time. And then just be like, oh, sorry for existing. Whoop, sorry for existing. Let me get out of your way.
Yeah,
So
so I'm sorry, but it's crazy. I just feel like I'm at this unapologetic stage in my life. So it's funny that you say that. It's like I'm unapologetic only for a certain reason though, because for the first time in my life, I'm making it work for me. The system's not working me. I'm like kind of working the system.
mhm.
So that's why I feel a certain amount of unapologetic for it. A lot of people take my confidence for cockiness, but it's really just confidence. I don't know how else to fucking explain it. I mean, says the guy with sunglasses on, but I generally just don't like light. But however you want to look at it, I'm completely transparent. And Evolving with Corey Castle is the show that you can find that out on. So I just want to say that.
I love it. Like, You talk about glasses and transparent. It's like,
Yeah, you know.
the glasses are kind of transparent sometimes, depending on what light's behind you.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I think you've always had that. You've always had that confidence about you since I met you, and I think we've pinpointed that we probably met around 2008, maybe
Yeah.
2000, in
It was
2009, 10, something in that area.
It was 8, closer to 9, and then I went and came back, and then we did the film in 11, I believe it
Okay.
was,
Yeah.
or something like that. Because you're right. I remember, well, the wrestling community, your early wrestling days. Because I was a big Trent Acid fan, and you were like a baby Trent. So I believe we met on that platform, like first, probably before we even really realized that you're CZW at one point, correct?
Don't know what that is. Yeah, of course.
Whatever, man, whatever. Those guys.
But I mean, I think I'm so into, like, it's funny because I had a conversation, and if you go back and listen to the show, check out an episode I did with my friend who's a comedian. His name's Bill Miller. I don't remember.
Bill Miller's dick.
Yeah, Bill Miller's dick.
I know Bill Miller's dick.
He just did.
I
Had
know
twins.
him. I know of him.
He just had twins.
He just had twins.
He just had twins, dude. His wife just had twins, and when she was first pregnant, I had him on the podcast, and we talked about it. And I mean, I'm not a dad. I'm not a father, but giving advice, somehow people listen to it because I have a good idea of like what influenced me.
What it should be. Yeah, maybe that's it. You know, you have a good idea of what it should be, maybe. I think you're very you have a nurturing thing about you. And that's I mean, it's a good quality to have. I mean, so it's so hard to find a person who actually wants to listen to you these days. And I think that's the problem with fucking society, and it has been for God knows how long. But that's why the socials and the StreamYards and things like this, like that stereo app I showed you. I mean, things like that are giving people a voice and something to do, not only during this crazy time, but we're talking like maybe somebody with a self-confidence issue or something like that, and he could still like do the audio streaming thing or podcasting or something like that. The one dude I was talking to had MS, bro. He was like paralyzed from like the neck down, but he was on the microphone talking to me on stereo, and he actually looked forward to going on every day and talking to me at some point. I haven't been back on there in a while, and I'm actually going to get back into it. It's pretty neat. It's a pretty cool. It's cool.
I like the app, man.
Cool.
I had
have you been back on it since? No, I remember we had
a couple cool conversations on there. I mean, I'm gonna say I've probably done 12 at the moment. Like,
I'm probably like 6. I'm like 6. You know what I mean? But it should be more because it's a great way to build a following.
Yeah, I mean,
overseas, I'm getting crazy following from that. Like, that's cool. It's going fuckbusters.
But yeah, I'm at Cord Castle on there. Then you're the franchise on there, right?
I am the franchise on the stereo app, and yes, it is. I think it's another pathway to the future of audio streaming that we're talking about. Like I said, it's just freezing a point in time and how we are doing.
I constantly say it, and
how you doing?
I hope you can apply this. I hope you can use this. Please use this in your life. Understand, there's more than one way up the mountain. So find however many ways there are, and start traveling those paths.
So I agree, bro. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I think it wouldn't be an evolving with Corey Castle episode if I did not talk about an Incubus song.
What?
And in this one Incubus song,
I like that. I like Incubus a little bit.
In this one Incubus song, they say it's I think it's called Privilege. The song's called Privilege, and he says, "I see you in line dragging your feet. You have my sympathy." And it's basically like you don't really know what you're doing in this line behind everybody else. And you don't really know where it's going. Why don't you go find yourself a back door to get into this place where you want to, like the song is Find Yourself a Back Door.
Is that the name of the song? Find Yourself a Back Door?
It's called Privilege.
Oh, Privilege. I'm sorry.
Yeah. But that there's a drinking game. There's a drinking game on my podcast about, well, if I talk about an Incubus lyrics, take a drink. If I talk about Pete Holmes, take a drink. If I talk about Chris Jericho, take a drink. So,
oh man, it's a drinker's heaven on your podcast.
Yeah. So
even though you don't drink like that, Corey. No, so that's it. So you just like getting people trashed on your fan. You know what it is? It's truth serum. You know what you're doing. You're looking to get them on the cast. I'm gonna get you all trashed and feeling all good. And woo.
It's just a
technique is what it is.
To me it's like
the method to madness.
You know, when they say cliches become a thing for a reason, they're all things that are so repeatable because they're so applicable. Like, that's what I feel like whenever I'm talking about this stuff that really lights me up. Mm-hmm. I'm making the joke that it's a drinking game. I don't know if anyone's ever said it's a drinking game, but I go like, well, I do wind up saying a lot of the same stuff because it's like, to me, I want to encourage you to see if it works for you too, to do the things that I like or listen to the words that I like, or I'm not forcing any of that on you, but I'm saying, like, if I continue to talk about this stuff and it persists as much as my message and my evolving does, hopefully it gets somewhere in your subconscious mind.
So yeah. I mean, I'm sure you believe at totally speaking things into existence, and I think hearing the things has a lot to do with it too. The repetition of the repeating in your brain or mind or however your pattern's going to go. There's a lot of ways to get to the top. There's a lot of ways to skin its cat. There's so many outlets these days that I had the luxury to kind of even just play myself behind the scenes a little bit, and that's all because I took some crazy ass trip 10 years ago, and I'm definitely a guy who shouldn't be here, Core. I mean, I don't want to say I don't deserve to be, because I definitely freaking fought my way to get back into society and life and all that. But it's just like, man, why did I take advantage of that so much? It really just gets to me. And then I come to the point where it's like, obviously you had a drug problem, and I was completely possessed at that point. But time lost, time you can't get back, relationships you just completely murder. Like, there's no resuscitation to, you know what I mean? It's like, good people, bridges that are burnt. I constantly think back to how inconsiderate I was, and it kind of makes me want to be a little more considerate now. I don't know if that makes sense, but I don't know. I feel like you said, I'm unapologetic to an extent. I feel like, if the person has the wrong perception of me these days, I feel like I have to correct it, because I lived a certain way for so long that, I kind of like just didn't care, kind of thing. Like, I don't give a fuck what people think. I'm going to do what I want to do, because that was the mindset, kind of thing. But I think I genuinely deep down care what how I'm perceived or how I'm looked at now, because I want to be looked at as an inspiration more than anything. Somebody who's literally lost it all, got it all back, and it's still trying to sustain in this thing called life.
Where bridges were once burnt, new bridges can be built.
Yes,
you are about to be the father of some babies, and you're about to be the teacher of some lessons. So be unapologetic. Your past is your past because you learn from it. The stuff that you lived through, the fact that you still have this life, it's all such a bonus, man. And I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful every time I talk to you, every time I see you, every time I get a text from you, every time we communicate, I'm so grateful that you're still here. I'm still so the fact that you really you don't get too bogged down about people's perception of you, because you got great things ahead of you, man. You have such great things ahead of you, and you're currently doing great things. So, like this is the thing I said, more than one way up the mountain, dude. You're just constantly heading up the mountain.
It's you know, it's definitely a road most traveled, and I think we're journeymen to say the least. I've heard the term thrown around in many different industries, but the story of the journeyman, I think I actually like want to do like a documentary and call it like Journeyman. Like the journey is what makes you, the struggles what makes you. um Even at the end of it, if it isn't the same pot of gold that you thought it would be, you find your way, you find your niche. It can't be one thing, but it can be another.
There's always going to be another mountain. I'm always going to want to make it move. Sometimes it's an uphill battle.
Sometimes you gotta go Miley on them.
Sometimes you're going to have to
go.
choose.
Do you
Ain't
ever feel
about
like
how
a
fast
plastic?
I get there. Ain't about what's waiting on the other side.
It's all about the
It's
climb.
climb. It's all
It's the
about the
climb.
climb.
It's all about the
But
climb.
we could turn journeyman into like a slam poetry. Be like, journey, man. It's all about the journey.
Journey, man. I'm on a journey, man. I'm on a journey, man. We on a journey, man. I'm on a journey, man. I'm on a journey, man. But yeah, life less ordinary, to say the least. um, I'm kind of, I constantly surprise myself, out of nowhere, I just start laughing sometimes out of unexplainable. There's like just no reason for it, but like, damn, bro, like you're still here. You did it. Like that's I mean, that keeps me going. And now more than ever in the past like 3 years, it's more of the people that are reaching out to me and letting me know that I'm an inspiration to them, and that's what keeps me going more than anything. Because life will definitely just rot you from the inside out, twist you, turns you, smack you from every different angle. It's how you can take the beating, you know.
Don't let the world bring you down. Not everyone here is that fucked up and cold. Remember why you came, and while you're alive, experience the warmth before you grow old. That's a song by
Is that
Incubus.
Incubus? That's Incubus. I knew it. I called it.
It's called The Warmth.
It's all good. I like that. Whatever tomorrow
Drive.
brings, I'll be. That's Incubus, right?
Yeah, it's called Drive.
Drive. I like Drive. I think that's probably one of the songs that I like really like that I don't know the title to. So ever since I was younger, my mother said I was such a pain in the ass because I would constantly be like, "Yo, mom, who sings this? What's this song? Who's that?" Like, we would hear it on the radio, we would hear it, wherever we were. I would just constantly like, "Yo, who sings this? What year was this?" And my uncle Sammy was somebody that was definitely the name guy with the songs, and then he got shows like, name that tune out right now, and that Beat Shazam show and stuff like that. I'm talking to a couple of my people. Like, I'm trying to get on some of them Johns. I need some money. I'm having twins. Those are songs to win money. You win money for knowing songs. I thought I have the most useless song knowledge in the world. You're telling me I can win money off of it now? It's on like popcorn. It's on. It's on, man. It's on. And fucking Marin called it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's funny because that came out before this stuff. This happened.
Yes.
That special came out.
That's even funnier.
Special came out before the pandemic. That special came out before the end times were actually here.
Yeah. And the one right before that, Hallie Opens Up, is just classic because you just know. Not I don't think it's Thinky Pain. It's the one right before that one where he just opens up. He's like, I don't know what he's gonna do next. I just don't know. I'm scared to scroll through my phone. I'm scared to do it now. I'm scared to hit the refresh button.
Yeah.
And then I don't want to get into it. I'm not getting into politics conversation right now.
Do you listen to any of his podcasts?
So I'm starting to. I haven't really gotten into it like that, like I should, but I definitely
he's
will.
got some really cool stuff, and people have some really cool journeys. Like I have to say that
Oh, he's
WTF.
definitely so inspirational. I mean, I've heard like crazy things about his journey.
Mhm.
Getting to where he's at now, it's just like he kind of could have been there already. He had a serious problem,
WTF, his podcast, uh, Pete Holmes podcast. You made it weird. Duncan Trussell's Family Hour, Armchair Expert by Dax Shepard,
I
Joe
actually
Rogan,
listened to that a little bit.
Joe Rogan Experience. I get, I mean, it feels like everyone goes, oh yeah, me too, and then all right, because it's so popular. But
Well, Joe Rogan.
Sure, yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
I haven't listened to Joe Rogan's yet. Not a full episode.
It's funny because I was just like listening to it, and he was talking about. Dude, the thing is, like everybody listens to it, but I still listen to it. It's not like I went, oh, I'm too punk rock to listen to that. I'll still listen to Rogan. And he's talking about, he's like, oh yeah, when we first started, nobody was listening. Nobody was listening to the show. And I was like, oh, that's kind of like me. And then he's like, just like a couple thousand people were listening. And I'm like, a couple thousand?
What we would do for a couple thousand, right?
Yeah. I was like, oh, you only say a couple thousand now because you got
millions,
like million every month.
That probably like the biggest podcast on the damn planet. Rogan mania. He saw it, man. He saw it. He saw that opening, and he was like, "I'm going in. I'm going in for the kill. I'm gonna show you how to make millions on a podcast." Hey, more power to him. Just got back from Florida. That was interesting.
Okay. Yeah, I think I saw some pics.
Some pics.
Some posts. Some pics.
Little pics and flicks. Yeah.
So the point of that was for the Aaron Carter something. Was it for that? Was it for?
No, it had nothing to do with that. Florida was for me and Ryan to complete the 4th District South script. The actual whole teaser script. We finished that week, and it was a couple days after my birthday. His girl Jess, her birthday's a couple days after that, and we always kind of celebrated together. So we went out there, and it was just surprising to see. It's like a whole nother world down there, bro.
Yeah.
It's like nobody's wearing a mask. Jess is probably one of the most asthmatic people with an underlying condition that I know, and she's completely fine. It's just a little mind-boggling. It's a little mind-boggling, but yeah.
Well, did you watch the Super Bowl?
Some of it. It's usually on my birthday. I watched some of the Super Bowl. I didn't watch a lot of it. No,
I watched none of it, but it's Florida. You know
this
what I mean?
Year, it's not even that. It's like this year I was just with the sports and the. I mean, I'm a live performer, bro. You are too. I just feel bad for that audience not being there for the actual athletes, man. Because there's nothing like that. I mean, you get paid to do what you do. I get that, but it's just completely tuned me out because
they had a limited capacity, but there was a lot of people still in the building, like still in the Raymond James Field or something in Tampa Bay.
I wonder what the reported COVID cases were.
They're going to do it again for WrestleMania in April. WrestleMania is going to be in that same building, and they're going to have a live audience.
It's a dome, right? Is it a dome or is it outdoors? Is the top open?
It's a stadium. Yeah, I don't know if it's.
So open. I think it is. I think it might be open.
Okay.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't follow. Yeah. I don't follow sports.
You don't sports. You don't sports.
Not some nerd. Some sports nerd.
You don't sports hard.
I don't sports hard. Sports hard. I sports way harder than you, bro.
Oh man, I sport fucking all day, bro. You don't sport like me. I'll be on that DraftKings, bro. You don't know about that.
I really don't know about that.
Yeah, right. No, it's a whole nother world
Except
of
for hearing like,
gambling. It's a whole nother world of gambling. I think it's all fixed anymore anyway, man. It's
right.
just, fucking sports betting's legal now. You gotta worry about getting your fucking legs broken. I mean, people are just placing bets like crazy, and I think, they're getting over on us every time. And I'm definitely a numbers guy, and I'm looking at the number of games that go to the over under and the number of games that go to the point spread by halftime. So what I'm calculating is every time it gets to halftime, it looks like that the team that's going to be losing is going to lose. But now after halftime, it looks like that team comes back, and it's just like a whole repeating thing. And I think I think it's fixed
Can I tell you
for
something?
betting purposes. I
Can I
think
tell
it's
you
fixed.
can I tell you something? My opinions on
Everything's fixed these
sports
days.
and I've been saying this since like 2001.
Mm-hmm.
It's all the work, brother.
You are right, brother. You
It's
are. It's the biggest. It's the biggest work.
right.
It is the biggest work, bro. Don't think for 1 second it's not. Don't think. I mean, it's entertainment. We're entertainers. That's what we do.
I think
You
everything's
gotta
work.
work. It doesn't work unless you work it. So you need workers to work it,
That's
and sometimes you gotta work it.
that's some Bill W speech right there.
Yes, yeah, little semi Bill W in there for sure. He's been an inspiration to me. I can't lie. The scripture rubs off. Indeed,
Yeah.
it does. Along with the ancient. I find myself wanting to do an English accent more and more these days. There's what is it? Apple TV series called Dickinson out right now. Emily Dickinson. It's about Emily Dickinson, which is definitely one of the greatest writers, poets of all time. Uh, and it's very funky and dark. And in the middle of it, she like takes a ride with death. She takes a ride with death in the middle of the night, like every day, and he comes in a carriage and has a mysterious like ghost horse, and it's Wiz Khalifa, and I think it's very very like trippy and cool. I don't know. I've been getting into that lately.
You know, the
I don't know where
horse.
that came
Are you
from.
saying the horse is Wiz Khalifa, or or
The
death is Wiz
Death.
Khalifa?
So Wiz Khalifa plays Death in
Mhm,
Dickinson, the Apple Plus TV series,
mhm,
and the horse is like a ghost chariot. He
uh-huh.
comes in a ghost chariot to pick her up in the middle of the night. So a lot of her poems, I mean, she's, says, I met death tonight. He seemed just as striking as before. It's like the love affair she had with death, and she died early too. And I just such great writing from a lost era.
I have Apple TV. I have Apple TV.
Apple TV Plus, something like
I'm
that.
not calling it Plus. I'm just saying I have Apple TV. I have I have it, and I'm watching Servant. That's the only thing I've been watching. I watched one episode of C, and I was like, this is
I didn't
too.
watch TV. I watched 2 episodes of Mankind. Did you see that? It was like if the Russians won the space race.
Mhm. No,
So they had I remember they came out with a Prime series called Man in the High Castle, and it was if the Germans would have won World War II, what
right.
would have happened? Like, how would have our lives have been? So this is if the Russians got to the moon first, or
Mhm,
supposedly said they got to the moon first. Like, you know what I
mhm.
mean? Whatever it was, and it follows the astronauts, their lives, their wives, the first woman astronauts introduced. Um, I only got like 3 episodes in. It was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. I mean, I'm trying to find new things to buy, and like obviously be inspired to write some new stuff to go on these streaming platforms, because the same thing, and I'll say it again, the same thing that's happening in the '80s with the mom and pop movie shops are happening with these platforms. They got to fill the shelves with good film, goody stuff and
Wait,
creative stuff. There's so many bad films I see on Prime. I just can't wait to get to work on Fourth District. But it's just like, this COVID and everything going down. It's like roadblock after roadblock, but I'm not going to let it stop me. I am not going to let it stop me. I just flew to Florida to make sure that freaking script got done right, because I mean, you collaborate like this only so much. Yeah, it's good, but when me and Ryan like really get together, like his production experience, my on-set experience, and the idea that we have with it, we got to make it pop, man. We got to make it pop, and we got to get it out there. And it's a story that needs to be told, because it's one of it's one of hope more than anything. Hope in the darkness. And that is a story that everybody should know, see, and be able to relate to, and go to at a time of need, or something like that, man.
I think uh, not only should you know the story of hope, but if you can find some entertainment and some happy distraction from the fact that you might be lacking some hope, and if that happy distraction includes some hope, you could use a dose of it.
Yeah, who couldn't? I mean, who couldn't use a double dose of hope, on a stick? I mean, it's just great. That's why I love going to church, honestly. Me personally, even if I can't make it with these social distancing and the masks and stuff like that, I'll do a online stream service or something like that, because I'm truly blessed, man, and I truly believe that, and I'll go back to it again. I'm a freaking guy who just took too many chances with his life, and the fact that I have still been worthy enough to give life, and not only that too, at that, it's a mind boggle. It means I'm doing something right. I'm here. I'm still here for a reason, you know. But I do have a story that needs to be told at the same time. Not only that one of hope, that one of the struggle, that one that got me to this point. Now, Fourth District's not a story about my life, but a lot of my life experiences are based around it. Like, you know what I mean? So
yeah, you sprinkle in some.
you gotta sprinkle in that real life
inspiration from your own story.
That's how you write. Am I right? I mean, that's the best way to write, I believe.
Some of the
personal experience.
Some of the scripts that I work on with Steve and stuff is a lot of stuff is stuff that we've actually said. And like, I actually said it the other night. I was like, oh, Steve just laughed at something that I texted him about. I bet you that's going to wind up in the next script.
Yeah, that's good. That's good.
Like, I bet you the thing that I said.
Dotson just hit me up on the messenger right before we got on, saying congrats on the twins. I don't think he heard the first announcement. But we got to get together, man. You, him, and I are definitely minds that need to be tapped into on another level, and I know I always say it, and we all have our own schedules and stuff like that, and we get to do things like this, and maybe we can do a Zoom call or something like that. But I really, you're not SAG yet, right? Are you going SAG or thinking about it, or
probably
going SAG? Are you going SAG?
I mean,
for now? But no,
I mean, it's not currently. I mean, we're talking real inside stuff. Currently, there's not much in it for me. Like, I for sure have the eligibility for it, but it's like there's too much like featured non-union stuff that I'd rather be doing to like get better. You know what I mean? I'd rather get good than be paid more.
Yeah. So you kind of you kind of take the creativity over the pay at one point.
I mean, right? That's what I've been doing for a while. But I mean,
same.
I just, I could be in SAG, but then I'll just be like in the background of stuff forever. I'm not all for it. I mean, I've been in background of movies and TV shows.
Too much.
Since 2006.
Yeah, man. That's why the indies are where it's at, and us as creatives and as creators, we need to take this narrative and shift it into a way of entertaining, and not stop once we get there with the platforms to do it on. There's plenty of ways to skin a cat, make a flick, do the damn thing, however you want to look at it.
Well, if I could quote Incubus one more time.
I don't think I can stop you from doing it, but go ahead.
There's a song where the lyrics are, if I ever get to where I'm going, will I know when I'm there?
Hmm.
That's
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 deep
how I feel
shit.
about like a lot of the stuff, because it's like that's part of the just going like I can't be comfortable in what content is, because once I do that, then I'm not hungry for what the next step is. So that it's part of the journey, part of the climb, part of the moving mountains.
I agree. It's all in the
Um,
it's all in the shakes and the hustle. You know, you got to shake it to make it, baby. That's just how it
I
goes.
started doing this. I started doing this thing, Josh, and I didn't tell you about it. I should have told you about it before we started.
Start doing
Before we
what
started recording.
what
So
thing?
I'm gonna cut this. I'm gonna cut this part out, and then immediately cut it right back in. But
All
I'll hit.
right.
I'll edit it right back in. But no. But I'm saying, I've been doing this thing now where I say like I don't really cut anything. I'm not really an editor, but
Editor.
I say like if at any point you got to like go to the bathroom, like get up and go, and I'll like look up
Cut
the
it.
lyrics to a 90s pop song and read them off or sing them off, however, while you're up going to the bathroom. And I say that goes for the other way around. So if I get up and I go to the bathroom, then you would just
Okay.
read the lyrics off of your like whatever song you can think of from the 90s pop
So
genre.
do you, so do you, is this the way you're saying? Is this your way of saying
Saying
you have
that,
to go to the bathroom?
yeah,
Okay. All right. So 90s
90s
boy
pop
90s pop. How convenient.
doesn't have to
How
be.
can how convenient. Okay.
Why is that convenient?
I'm wait. I'm just saying. I'm waiting for you to go. I'm gonna have fun with this one. So I'm gonna take this time while Mr. Castle's not here to bring it down to a little section I like to call "Bringing It Home" with Josh Cologne. It's going to be the '90s R&B pop feature that goes down on the Jones Gang TV platform or Evolving with Corey Castle. And what Corey's just told me was every time that he goes to the bathroom, he looks up a '90s pop song, the lyrics, and I don't understand how more convenient this could be. But I'm gonna look up some '90s pop song lyrics. Uh, uh, all right. What are these lyrics? Hey, Justin. Hey, it's Aaron. I can't come out tonight. I'm gonna see this girl. No, her name is Candy. She's real cute. I gotta go see. Yeah. I knew a girl who's tough but sweet. She's so fine. She can't be beat. She's got everything that I desire. Sets my summer sun on fire. I want candy. And repeat. So feel free to edit that out if you want, Corey. I don't know how you feel. I see you. I see you. Is that you? Uh, hi.
Hey,
Hi there.
what happened?
So quick question. Do you know what Welcome Back Cotter is?
Yeah, of course.
All right.
I
I'm a
used to listen to
huge
Nick at Night when I was a boy.
so I'm a huge Nick at Night kid, bro. And
Yeah.
that right there, Welcome Back. And I was like really hyped the other day because I was looking at my uncle's DVD collection and he has like the ultimate DVD collection. Like I'm so jealous of his DVD collection kind of collection. And because I sold all mine years ago and I had a nice one and I'm building a new one now. But I saw that he had the full series of Welcome Back Cotter, like 1 through like 7 or however many series they were. And my mom was just like, and then I looked over, I was like, Unc, I'm leaving for Florida. I could really use something to watch on the on the flight. I think I'm one of the only ones that still carries a portable DVD player with
Oh
me when I
boy.
go on flights. Like I'm one of them. Like I don't watch things on my phone or my laptop or anything like that. I have my portable DVD player and I have the DVDs. I'm just old school like that, I guess. I think it changed too much, man. The digital things just killed the holding of it all. I used to love to hold the record.
Yeah,
I
I
love the
was
way
just
it
saying, like
felt.
the
I love how to
having
put it in. I like
a physical copy
opening
of a
up.
thing.
Yeah, it's just oh man, I can't. But yeah, it's so. Long story short, I watched Welcome Back, Kotter on my way back and up to Florida, and
Mhm.
Boom Boom Washington's one of my favorite characters. That's why I just did the hi there,
Do-
hi
Um,
there.
I
Also, this is really cool. Sorry. Did you ever watch Strange? Do you watch Stranger Things?
yeah.
All right, so this is the Palace game machine. It has Galactica, Pac-Man, all like cool Stranger Things games. It's like a little mini version,
Wow,
and
cool.
I torture people's lives with this, like right next to them sometimes too. And like I'll be like playing it in the middle of the night, and Angie will just like smack the shit out of me. Like, what are you doing? I'm pregnant with twins, and you're playing video games right next to me. But yeah,
Is there a silent mode?
no. It's like it's so old school. Like it's really like the actual ones that used to be in like the arcades. Like it's really like old school like that. Like it's even got like the magnifier kind of thing. Like I thought it was so. It's like a minier version of it. I thought it was so
Yeah.
freaking cool, man.
You know
So
what's
cool.
funny?
I don't think there's many of these, and I'm happy I got one.
My friend
The,
Tim,
the, the nerd
my
in me showing.
my friend Tim lived in this neighborhood. He actually lives right behind where my mom lives now. Uh, I used to go over his house, and he had like a big video game cabinet in his basement. Like his room was in the basement, and in the
Mm.
basement he had a big video game cabinet. And we were kids. He could open up like where the change goes in, and he could get himself all the way in the little in the cab inside the cabinet of the video game.
Wow.
I I don't know like why
Yeah.
that
Who,
just
who knows
randomly
why
popped
we
into my
do
head.
things like that when we're
Right?
kids, but we
What
do.
the
Yeah.
hell? Like, what
I
if
used to
food
hide.
stuck in there?
I used to hide in the mannequins at the mall. I
Yeah.
used to like hide inside of them. Like I would go under their clothes. My mom would find me like with them hanging out with the mannequins in the section. I don't know. I was building a fort, a clubhouse, some shit. I don't know. It just went down. It goes down in the
Man,
dip.
kids are so weird. I want to make sure. I
Oh
want to make
man,
sure.
I don't know. I have
Do you
just
know?
the things I have to look forward to are just both
Do you know the
hilarious, beautiful, and
genders?
crazy. We're thinking they're fraternal. We know nothing for sure yet, though. So 1 and 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I hope I hope that you take nothing from me except for the fact that I want you to take this. I absolutely excited to meet these kids, and I'm excited to meet the people that they turn into for sure. But I want to make sure that you take this piece of advice from me. Please don't ever, please don't ever shame them for being weirdos, because then
Never. Never.
we're weirdos too. Like,
Exactly. I'm a firm believer in embracing your weirdness, and I'm a firm advocate for anti-bullying. I was fucking tortured as a kid. Like when I'm talking tortured, things that are unspeakable, that shouldn't happen to a little kid for no freaking reason, but they did because kids are cruel, and that's just not good enough. That's definitely just not good enough. And it wasn't,
crew.
you know. It definitely was, to the point where I couldn't stand it anymore, and just became this enraged ball of psychopathic freaking lunatic that people actually left me alone. And for some reason in my mind, and it sucks because it's where we're raised and how we're from, but people take kindness for weakness, and you believe if you show that kindness, you get shot down in another way because somebody sees it as you're weak. I think being a gentleman is exactly that, being a gentleman. But I some people got to get put in their place, and that's what comes down to that. Because if you don't, how are they going to learn from the situation, and how are you going to progress from that situation happening? So it's a lot deeper than just meets the eye. One thing I've been doing more is just diving more into the psychoanalytical part of why we do things, not only when we were younger, but why we do them now. Trauma has a lot to do with it. There's a lot of highways that definitely want to get into with you, but I don't think we have time to tonight. But it's
Dude,
just
I wanted to make sure I let you know on the record, and this can be audio time travel. You can come back to hear this on the record. I want to make sure I let you know, and maybe acknowledge it to you. I don't know if I've ever told it to you, how cool it is. How cool it is that like you've evolved past, like, I think when we first met, you were a little defensive. Like, you used to be on the defense. Like, you were ready for somebody to like come at you, and you were ready to like verbally dispense of them. And you're not that edgy anymore. Like, you're not that on edge anymore. And
well, that makes me feel good because I work on it.
I recognize it, and I appreciate it. I appreciate it because, like, that same thing that you and I have spoke about, like your circle that you surround yourself with, comes back to like reflect who you are. So you being a part of my circle makes me feel better when I see you evolving as a person, and the fact that you're now entering into what is going to be like what could be the most important part of your life. So
it definitely is, no doubt about it. Yeah,
I'm psyched for us to do another episode, 50 episodes from now. I don't know how.
Yeah, no, hey, dude, like I said, my journey started here, and I want it to end here too. We're gonna keep doing this until we can't do it anymore. I think me and you'll be doing this when we're in a nursing home. Like, yo, I think I got my microphone and laptop still. Corey, you want to get a couple more in before we go, kind of thing, because it needs to be heard. It needs to be referred to in reference of a time and a place that things were just off the fucking chains, off the wire. I don't know what's going on in our country, our nation, the world. We can get into all that, and that's, a big fucking shit show, really. And, it's, ah, ah, I just, my heart breaks.
You choose
My
what
heart breaks as we set backwards in history. That's just all I got to say, because how are we evolving if we're doing that, Core? It's just not. There is none. There is none. And then the whole point of us is to keep moving forward. Forward. We're going backwards. I'm ready to shift this narrative. That's what I'm ready to do, and I'll bring it up every time. That's what I got to do.
I think that people will never turn down the opportunity to get themselves whipped up into a frenzy. People love a frenzy. People love outrage. People love that. So I always say
back and forth. I mean, this is why what we do is such a
you gotta make sure that you're very conscious of the bait that you bite into. So if you're biting into the outrage bait and you're becoming outraged, that's exactly what the outrage bait wanted you to do. Like, you got to make sure you focus a lot. Like, and I think I just had this conversation back and forth on Twitter with a comedian friend of mine who was talking about the politics of like comedy writing in New York City. And I was like, he said
politics of comedy writing in New York City, huh?
Right. So he was like, oh, it's this guy. Honestly, you're probably better off not knowing anything about it. And I was like, yeah, dude, you're better off too. Like, you only know about it because you're like letting yourself buy into it. You're better. Like, you're more intelligent than to waste your energy on this stuff that's outraging you, the stuff that's making you unhappy,
the stuff that's making you angry, the stuff that's festered inside. Like I said, man, I mean, since I've been able to do some, I don't know whether to call it in looking or out looking or just looking at the situation or yourself from the outside in, and really just I think me being on a show like The Real World definitely brings you to a certain degree of consciousness. And if you don't take that consciousness when when you should recognize it, then it's a whole nother can of worms you'll have to deal with later, kind of thing. um I'm just happy at the point where I'm dealing with it. And like I said, I'm making this work for me. It's not the system working me anymore. It's me working the system.
Well, I think
And I have the luxury to
part of the
do this.
casting for Real World, because I was inside of the casting of Real World, but I never got cast. There is an age range,
Yeah.
in which, like, if you're over 25.
No, it's over 30. It was over 30, and then Jersey Shore came out with Paulie D, who was 30 at the time. So really didn't matter after that. But yeah.
So yeah, it was like I don't remember. I was just about to hit whatever the age limit was.
Yeah, it's like 28, 30.
It was like, I thought it was like 25 or something, but I was like, you're in such an impressionable age that they'll get you right into the part where you're going to be influenced by the hype of it all.
Oh yeah,
and you're going to bite into that bait, and that's exactly what you did. You got lost in the sauce. You got wrapped up in the lifestyle. And you let the hype really jump into your ear.
Yeah, the hype gets to you. You know what that does to a person? The ego boosting. I was handpicked, man. Handpicked out of 70,000 people.
Might be,
and now they reminded me of that. They made me believe that. They knew how I would react to that. You know?
You're
gonna stroke this ego. I'm gonna be a happy, guy. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
They had way more street smarts to know how to manipulate you.
Yeah, it's like, they use the street smart method of manipulation with me. That's what I really noticed. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like, damn. And at the same time, it's just like, yo, bro, man, I went through this ventriloquist. I call it the ventriloquist dummy phase, where it's just literally somebody just like has a fucking hand up your ass, and you're like a puppet. You're a puppet. You're their puppet. You're on autopilot. And I went through that twice. I went through that with the industry, and I went through that with drugs. I've had that shit controlling me, and I felt very used. And I think that was really underlying fucking problem of my trauma. I felt very, very, very used. And it was just, it's not a good feeling,
because you go from how, like, buying into the hype of how special you are because you were handpicked, into then realizing that you were just another cog in the machine.
Yeah, you're just a pawn.
Another, it's like, in the wheel.
Yeah. You go from that, and then you go from seeing that, doing all that, experiencing all that in a certain amount of time, and then you're about to see the fresh crop come in. You're about to see the fresh crop come in, all excited, and you know what I mean. It's like they got a little more umph than you had, than you have right at that moment too, because you're feeling defeated. You're feeling defeated. You feel like it's over. And then it's never over till it's over. You know what I mean? And the more I told myself that, it's just like, I can't lie. I had a hell of a run. But how many second chances did I think I was going to get? I'm just happy I came to the fucking realization of, do you want your life? Because it seems like you don't care about it.
Well, something I say a lot also, I mean, this might be part of the drinking game. I think a lot of times in life, we'll become kind of like you said, like an autopilot. So it'll be like we're so used to kind of observing and reacting to life happening to us versus being an intentional creator in your existence. So that goes right back to the Incubus song that you talked about, when it's like,
whatever tomorrow brings.
But it's like, it's called drive because it's like, hold the wheel and drive. Like, it's like, I decide to waver my chance to be one of the left behind. It's like, I'm going to drive what my life is. I'm going to be the one in the driver's seat versus being the person in the passenger seat and riding through life.
I want to be the one to make that choice. And
Right.
I just felt like at one point, I had a lot of people trying to make that choice for me. And
Mhm.
then I had the parade of, I don't even know how to describe it, but it's leech. It's the leech. It will take a lot from you. It would take everything from you because you feel used. You're feeling used. Go ahead.
You might recognize me saying this to you because I'm sure I've said it to you before, but uh, ego, ego is crazy, and that's probably part of probably part of when you said people think I come off as cocky or people think I come off as conceited. When it's like,
Mhm.
yeah, well, you just had some television executives from a major network telling you that yours more special than 78,000 other people who applied to be a part of this. And
Oh,
and it's like your ego gets crazy. And I've quoted this. Wayne Dwyer says he said that he would break down the word ego and say that it
mhm.
was edging God out,
Okay.
and that's part of
Yeah.
like
No. Yeah.
that
It's putting your
holier than thou,
yeah. You're putting
holier than
yourself up
thou.
there. Yeah.
Right. So like when you think you're infallible, when you think like it's impossible for you to make a mistake, or it's impossible for you to question that, like, maybe the people who you've trusted aren't the people you should have trusted.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Well, it's everything. Like I said, it's everything in retrospect. I mean, it's easy to say now. Obviously, looking back, I can honestly remember myself asking a lot of those same questions. But it's more like, this is happening now. We don't keep this fucking going. It's going to stop happening. Period. Like, so it's just like, at that point, it's like I'm not going to miss my own train.
Mhm.
Um, and it was, yeah, a lot of things could have been done different, but I can't say I didn't live out every fantasy that I had. I can't say I haven't had the lifestyle and lived out the things that, truly would make a person say, okay, bucket list things, and, make you happy to have a life once lived, and now it's at the point where it's like, yeah, it's, I kind of lived and died and was reborn again. And that's a whole story in itself. And I'm not the only one. And I think it needs to be heard more. I don't know why it's not heard more. I'm going to say it every time I speak. That's for sure. I'm at a point in my life where I'm definitely done with the petty bullshit drama, but definitely at a point where I would love to just shut certain people up, about that petty bullshit drama, because that's all it is, really, and it's not about being apologetic. It's about being real. Every scar I have on my forehead is real. I didn't get anything tattooed on my face. I didn't get anything um, you know purposely put there to look another type of way of how the world perceives me. I have literally a highway map on my forehead if people really really want to get into detail. And that's real. I've been through freaking hell and back, and I'm happy to be standing on the other side and say that I looked evil in the eye, and really took hold of myself, because not everybody's that lucky. And I'm continuously reminded of how lucky I am. I mean, I have twins coming. I've been put on a platform that I was on for 10 years, but now, out of all times, it's the time to be there, and I'm able to play myself behind the scenes, and even make a living off of it, or just like, it's all mind-boggling to me, brother. I can't really explain my love for humanity now, but I know it's deep within this heart that I had to get healed. And it really it hurts to know how many people you hurt, but it
Well,
definitely
you have to
helps.
take something you say and apply it to yourself. When you say and you have it tattooed on you, saved by grace, you have to
Yes.
apply that own grace for yourself. You have to
I forget about that a lot. I think
you have to give yourself grace. Like, you realize that a lot of the mistakes make up who you currently are.
yeah.
A lot of the mistakes you make have given you the wisdom now to know to not make those mistakes again, and you're still living it one day at a time.
That's all I can do.
Mhm.
I can take it. I can take it as it comes. All I can say this time is I'm ready for it. And I'm gonna take. I'm gonna take it just like how I take everything, and every time I go into that ring, just toe to toe, head to head, face on, because something happens when you don't deal with your problems. It could kill. It could take you out in itself, and that's not a place. That's not a mental space I want to be in, because I know it's very easy to get there, and it's very easy to just be back in that hell for me tomorrow, and I need to constantly remind myself of that. But that's why I box. That's why we do celebrity boxing. That's why we get into what we get into. That's why we find these social media platforms and outlets, and promote our brand and product. This is why we do what we do. It's to fight another day, to live another day, and to really capitalize on this thing we call life. Whether it be for yourself or somebody else's benefit. I want to help somebody else have a better day.
Dearly
Somebody did it for
beloved,
me. Somebody else did it for me, and that's all I got to say about that, there, brother. But dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to enchant this thing we call life. And like I said, I mean, what I do is
But
fun though, man. What we do is fun. I love entertaining. I love talking shit. I love to be able to talk shit on a platform for a living, on the side, whatever the hell it is. You know what I mean?
yeah,
And then we get into the ring, and we can back that shit up. You know what I mean?
can I
And and
talk to
that
you
and that
about?
and that's the fun. And that's the fun part.
Can we talk real quick about like some real life hustle shit? Like the
Always.
like the fact that like you're going like, oh, here's my roots. I worked at Pat's as a kid, and they still want me to come back to like fill in, to like get this money. That's so cool, dude. That's the neatest thing. Like, I feel like that's like a celebrity bartending thing. But they're like, they could be like, people could be like, whoa, dude, Josh Cologne made my cheesesteak. That's
I mean,
awesome.
people can say that.
Yeah.
It's just something that's always been very dear. Yeah, I grew up there. I grew
Right.
up there, so it's literally like second nature. Like I call it the reserves.
Mhm.
Whether it's 1 week a month or 2 weeks a year, I'll make my presence known, and I'll be the help that they need at that time. You know, and it's only because I've been so. That's just another thing. I'm just blessed, bro. It just shows you the 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 progress of a life well lived,
But
the right
when
way.
it comes to our similarities, when it comes to us, it's like I I myself want to be a broadcaster, a podcaster, a pro wrestler, an actor, and a comedian.
Yeah,
But but I got to keep the lights on. So I'm gonna go take a day job in where I like every day climbing these ladders and going on roofs and like big buildings and ice storms. It's part of it. But then
sure.
I watched a video. I watched a video that your partner posted up with you like blowing out gutters off the side of this roof. And I was like,
Right.
that's scary. I don't know. like
So I do it because he's literally scared to death of heights. My business partner, he just can't get on the ladder. You know, um, and that's just it's another side hustle, bro. It's one thing I just noticed was there's a lot of green, there's a lot of grass can be cut. There's a lot of green, there's a lot of ways to skin a cat, man. So get yours, man, get yours. But now it's like we're in this unemployment, PUA, freaking killing people phase, and I don't understand, and I don't know, man. I don't know anymore. Marin called it. Lizard portal's open. You know.
two more super quick things, and then I'll send you off with a hot dog and a handshake, riding off into the sunset. You ready? Here goes.
do it.
Same as always. You know the deal. You know the drill. Audio time travel.
Hmm.
These kids of yours are
Yes.
stumbling across this very audio.
Wow, and video. This is the real treat. There's video too, but okay. Yes.
So the most important message for them to understand what 2020 and what everything leading up to 2021 in the history of Josh Jones Cologne, the franchise.
Whoa. So, damn man, that's rough. How do I follow that? How I I'll start by saying this, guys. You came along at a time of mass hysteria, uncertainty, and craziness. But when we heard that you guys were coming, it just all made sense. Um, I believe and feel that the love I have for you at this point is just immense, and I will do everything I can to show you that you are loved and you will be always loved, and your family loves you. Uh, Daddy definitely had a rough time getting to this point, and I'm happy I did. And your mother was the guiding light that helped me get there, along with your big sister, who was just a child when I met her, and now will be a teenager within in a few months. Maya, you have a big responsibility to set a good example, and I know you will, and I know you will help um, whenever you're needed, because I've never seen anybody more caring naturally than you. But for the twins, this is going to be the happiest, most fun place for you, and I will make sure of that. And with arms wide open, you will be welcomed and loved, and I can't wait to meet you. So, Layla, you're our daughter, and I think that's the name we're gonna go with. And I think it's the girl's gonna be Layla Rose, after my mother in the middle. So Layla Rose Cologne. Uh, you were definitely a special little girl, and you are the first girl of the Cologne tribe. You're also the first twin of the Cologne tribe, and I plan on seeing many more generations. So I think that's it.
Anything audio time travel timestamp for messages to give to Angie in the future?
Uh, Thanks for putting up with me. I'm definitely not like everybody. I'm definitely weird. Uh, I know we embrace each other's weirdness. I truly kind of knew it from the moment I saw you and Maya that this was it for me. I know for a fact that you weren't thinking anywhere along that line when you saw me for the first time. But I do remember this. We were talking. I think I was away. I was working in North Carolina at the time, and I don't even think we were just like kind of talking on the phone. I think we kind of saw each other once. It wasn't a big thing, but there was somebody else involved that obviously she was dating before or something like that. And I remember her saying like, I don't want to be a bad person. And I was like, listen, I don't want you to be a bad person. If that's what you feel you need to do, then hey, by all means, you do it. I don't know what he has for you. I don't know how he treats you. I don't know what he is to you. But I do know what I got here, and I do know for a fact I will give you all my love, you know. And she's kind at the point where like, motherfucker, you don't know me. You know, it was just such like a you don't know me, pushing me away at this point. I was like, listen, we're going to be laughing about this in about 3 years when we have kids and we're married, and there goes the timestamp right there.
So, while we're on the record, I want
Yeah.
to just express to you my gratitude for our friendship. I want to express to you my gratitude for our relationship that we have as brothers, and I want to make sure you know on the record that I'm still very much looking forward to this still just being the very beginning and us creating some amazing, great art with each other. Want to make sure you know still I'm happy to be a resource for you however I can be. So when it comes to these kids, when it comes to this inspiration, any role model, anything you want me to be, don't hesitate to ask me stuff. Don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to talk to me about it. I will be I will be I will be a beacon for you. I will be your shoulder to cry on. Anything you need, please know on the record. This is important for me to have you know that I'm here for you, man. I'm very much here for you.
I appreciate that, bro, and I want you to know the same. And our friendship has done nothing but inspire me to even have friendships like this. You know what I mean? I have a very small circle for a reason, and I'm happy you're a part of that. I really am. We can relate to things on so many different levels, and it's important for somebody with as much trauma and pain as I've been through myself to have somebody to talk to like that, that understands where I'm coming from, or even if they don't, they try to. And there's very few people that I feel like I can do that with, and you're definitely one of them. And like I said, this is where it all started for me. So I want to timestamp that, like Evolving with Corey Castle, episodes 20, 70, 150, and 225 are all the journey to Josh Jones Cologne, the franchise, and the journeyman that you hear and see speaking today.
Josh Jones, Bones Colognes.
Josh Jones, Bones Cologne. So it's funny you said that, because my other, like, somebody else I've always considered, I was the best man in his wedding, is my boy Brandon Bones Byrne. And that's, you just said that out of nowhere, but he's also my therapist type character. He was growing up. We were friends since the second grade, and yeah, you get put in that realm automatically. I don't care if you don't like it or whatever it is, but yeah.
I think I called you that on episode 20. I think I called you Josh Jones Bones Colognes.
Yeah,
and I'll
Bones
continue to do it. But I have to say, man,
and I'll continue to wrestle through this life with Castle. Wrestle with Castle.
Right. But
speaking of,
I want to normally towards like wrapping it up parts, I usually say, like, hypothetically, I've given you this show, and Evolving with Corey Castle is now the first episode of Evolving with Josh Cologne.
Kind of can't say that.
This is your first episode of this show, but actually, this is actually the fourth episode of your show. Normally, I would say, in a Jerry Springer's final thought type of way, wrap this whole thing up. But before I get to that, I want to give you the opportunity to try your hosting shoes on, and and just ask me anything you want to ask me, dude. I'm here for you.
So, hey there, my hosting shoes are waiting to be filled for a long, long time. So we'll take it down and we'll bring it home with Josh Cologne. So Corey Castle, tell me, sir, what is your favorite color?
I'd say probably red.
Red. Okay. I'm definitely a red guy too. Favorite cartoon?
Um, I like the Looney Tunes, man.
Looney Tunes. Okay.
Keep
Favorite,
it OG.
keep it OG, triple OG. Favorite cartoon character is what? Bugs Bunny, Daffy Duck, something
Probably
like that.
Taz. Probably
Which
Taz. I mean, as
has
a kid,
been
probably
Devil. Yes. 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 Favorite Muppet Babies character?
um Gonzo.
Yes. So I'm animal all day, every
Well, I
day.
mean,
It's not
honestly,
like a little guy.
I have a
Animal Gonzo are definitely the weirdos of the group.
yeah,
So they're
I
my
have that animal puppet.
yes, you
You've
do.
seen it, right?
I have.
So
I
like
wanted to steal. I wanted to steal it. You're lucky I'm not
I've
thief
had that
anymore.
since I was 4 years old.
That's great. That's great.
I don't have many things from my childhood like that, but that's one thing that I don't think I
It's-
ever bought.
yeah, those things are important and little tokens and keepsakes and stuff like that. So on a whole other tip, how do you feel about the vaccine?
I don't really feel anything about it.
Yeah, I
I
don't
don't
either.
feel. I don't have. I'm very indifferent. I mean, it's not something that like really has affected my life in any way yet. So I
So
mean,
like
I
yeah.
can't really. I don't come from a stance on it at this point.
Do you feel? I mean, I think we're both. It's both safe to say that we're both in the realm of conspiracy theorists. In a way, I do think there's a grand scheme of things or something like that. Hey, but I don't feel anything about the damn virus either. But I am somebody that just came back from Florida, literally just came back from Florida and seen nobody wearing masks and everybody's fine. I don't know where some of these cases are coming from. I don't understand why, if you get a broken arm, it's COVID these days. I don't they're just stamping everything with it and it's to scare us, to genuinely scare the living daylights out of us and basically let us not see daylight. And I'm at a point where I'm fed up with it, bro. I really am, and it's something that I'm thinking like I can care less about getting a needle or not, but who's to say? Are things ever going to be the same again?
Dude, I think honestly, I think I'm very optimistic. I do
So I
really
try to be.
I do really see myself focusing on a time when like a herd immunity will really take hold of us and things can go back to normal. I can't not see that. So
I just see a really fucking rough road getting there. I kind of see it because I have to. I have kids coming. I have a lot of things that need to be okay. And it scares the shit out of me. That was my main problem. Like at some point I was, at the point where it's like, okay, if it doesn't happen, I'm not gonna have them. You know what I mean? It's like it doesn't happen. I guess I wasn't supposed to have them. If I didn't have them now, I'm not having them or whatever it is. Like, you know what I mean? But
right,
then I get smacked with the whirlwind. Not only are you having, but you're having too, and you're bringing them into this world, which I am not fond of,
right,
especially now when we continue to takes these steps backwards in history and be divided into two freaking groups, and it's not what America is, or what it should be. That's for sure. But yeah, it's my final thought, I guess.
Anything else on the record you'd like to state, or anything you want to wrap this thing up in another way, where it's tie a nice bow on it and put a
Josh
positive
Jones,
message on it,
the Josh Jones Cologne way.
and also to keep it really light. I've been doing this thing, keep it real silly. In your best Alf impression, Alf, alien life form, that alien, that
Yeah, I know that guy.
if you can say, "Hey Willie,"
What is it?
hey Willie,
Hey, Willie.
there you go. Thanks,
What do you
Josh.
mean? You know what's funny? My cousin that passed away, What do you mean, guys? He had like the put him on, put him on. What do you mean? So he had that sound to it. Oh, God rest his soul, Tony. He was. It's been like a year, and we think it was probably COVID that took him down because he had an underlying condition. But what do you mean? What do you mean, guys? That's what he was saying. Nah.
I worked at overnight shift at Target like in 2006, and
Okay.
I was like doing the stock shift, and there was this like older guy who was like the manager, and he, no matter what you were doing, he'd always say, "What are you doing? You're killing me, man!
You're killing me, man. You're killing me.
Killing me, man!" And he would say, "My grandkids want a Wii for Christmas, and they ain't getting one because you killing me."
Killing me, man. Killing me. Just break it down. Break it down.
All right, man. Well,
So,
I want to
all
make
right.
sure I say anybody who's listening to the show, if you've listened from the start and you've given us all this effort, all this currency of your effort and your time, so much appreciated. The only thing I'll ask is that you maybe hit subscribe on the YouTube videos. Make sure you follow on Spotify. Make sure you subscribe on the iTunes, the Apple Podcasts. Leave a review, leave a comment. Let me know you exist. Tell the people that you love them. Be fun, have safe, and keep evolving.
I wish you love, peace, and soul.